lights, or the lack thereof, have been a challenge for my Jeemper camper here. Initially, I tried to use some brass lanterns, some old-fashioned brass lanterns, some candle lanterns, and they didn't produce a whole lot of functional light, and they produced some really harsh shadows. Here in my garage, as you can see, it's rather dark, so I went to Lowe's and I picked up some rope lights. I don't know what brand they were. They were from Lowe's. One strand was 18 feet, and I believe the other strand was 12 feet. 14.4 watts, if I'm not mistaken. They're regular line voltage, right? They just plug in into the wall. These are when I'm tinkering around in my Jeemper here in my garage, these are exceptionally bright. I mean, you can see it's very bright in here. You know, compared to the outside of my garage, it's rather dark and dingy. But inside Jeemper, it's rather bright. I used after my lantern problem, I tried some of these little circular tap lights that you get from Lowe's for about maybe 15 bucks for a pack of 3, and I had them up in my rafters here, and they fell off. I then tried a couple of these headlamps, which burn through batteries like crazy. I have 2 of them in here. And the switch on that one broke. So they weren't terribly functional. I mean, they produced some light, but not a tremendous amount of light. And I had these things plugged into the wall when it's sitting here in my garage. When I go on a camping trip, that is on the rare occasion where I have some line voltage power, some shore power, it works great. It's nice and bright. But the reality is, most of the time when I go camping, I don't have that. So I was looking at, well, how can I power these lights while I'm out camping? And I looked at the Jackery portable power station, and hey, that would probably work just fine, but my gosh, they're expensive. The cheapest one I could find is about $300. How long is it going to work? How much time am I going to have on one charge of a Jackery? That I didn't know. So what I decided to do was, well, maybe I could find a cheaper version of a Jackery. And of course, there are some cheaper versions of power stations, and you know what? They didn't have the greatest reviews, so I was hesitant. Do I want to buy? Do I want to purchase? Spend a lot of money to purchase a problem? And still, the average price of those things were, you know, $150, or I'm sorry, $200. All right. I was watching a video on how to make a power station out of an ammo can, and I came across a video that a guy had made where he makes these power stations out of an ammo can. But in this particular video, he said these are obsolete. What you really need to do is find something like this. This battery is what I use to power my cordless drill. I actually have several here. I have that one, and I have a 2 amp hour battery. I had a Craftsman cordless drill, so I thought, you know, I'm going to try it. I'm going to buy one of these gadgets. Here they are. Now, I considered it to be a gadget. When I first saw the video, I thought, this looks like a gadget. And a gadget to me is something that is cute. It's a novelty. It sort of works. Don't expect it to last long. Don't expect it to work as well as you thought maybe it could, right? So this little device has a power button. It has an incredibly bright light. I thought, you know, I'll give this. It was 50 bucks. I'll give it a shot, right? I had some of these batteries, and I'll try it. This battery from my drill is 3 years old. I bought the drill when I built my Jeemper here, and So I thought, well, gosh, I'll give it a try. For 50 bucks, I'll give it a try. These little batteries, they last for about an hour and a half. This big battery has been going on, we're on hour 2 of it. It's going to last another maybe hour and a half. I have 2 of the 4 amp batteries. I have 2 of the 2 amp batteries. That's more than enough light for a weekend for me. I'm simply not in the camper all that much. I get up before sunrise, so I'm up to make my coffee in the morning, and I'm up to make my breakfast, so I need lights for that. Maybe an hour and a half in the morning. And then at night, I make my dinner, and usually around the time, I camp a lot in the winter time, so around the time I'm finishing my dinner, it's getting dark, I need some lights on in here. And then, you know, when I go join my comrades around the campfire, and when I get back at night, of course, I need to come into the camper and get ready for bed. Slide my bed down so that I have a place to sleep. My bed, in case you have not seen my videos before about this bed slides down right to here, right to the edge of my cooler, and it's a queen size space. It works absolutely beautifully. This camper, you walk right into. There's no axle there. I have independent axles. I've seen a lot of videos on these little inverters, these little power drill battery inverters, and they show what you can light. I'm not really concerned about what I can light. I have an air conditioner in this box for when I live in Florida. My gosh, when I go camping in the summertime, it's unbearably hot and humid, so I have to have an air conditioner. I only camp in spots in the summertime where I could plug that in, which of course then is plugging these in as well. But in the wintertime, I don't have that need, and all I needed to know was how long will it run these lights. That was my focus. I don't need to know what I can run off of these things. I need to know how long I can run these off of these things. There's all kinds of videos on how to convert watts and amps and volts, and I'm not a mathematician, and I'm not going to get into that. You can find all kinds of videos on how to work the amps and the volts and the and the watts. I'm simply very pleased that I can run these incredibly bright lights in here for an entire weekend off of, well, really 3 batteries, but I have 4. And this little gadget here, I considered it initially to be a gadget, a novelty, something that would sort of work and sort of not work. This is no longer considered what I consider to be a gadget. This is an incredibly useful camping tool. To have this kind of light after using just candles and just some sporadic lanterns is incredible. I'm going to unplug my inverter here and plug into shore power so you can see the difference. There's really not a whole lot of difference. Okay, now I'm plugged into shore power. It's about the same brightness in here. The intensity is about the same. This is a phenomenal device, tool, very useful tool. Highly recommend it. Of the Craftsman brand, I've always been a Craftsman guy. My dad was really big on Craftsman tools, so when it was time to buy my next cordless drill, that was about the time that they left Sears and went to Lowe's. So yeah, we'll give it a shot. And so I happened to have a Craftsman drill around, so when it was time to buy this inverter, I went with the Craftsman. Will the other brands, Ryobi and Makita, and will those other brands that have these things work just as well? Yeah, probably. But I'm super pleased with this. Leave comments if you have any questions. Follow and like me. Thank you.